Hey you guys, so today I wanted to do a video. It's not necessarily my plastic surgery experiences, but more so my experiences with fillers. I want to start off with a disclaimer because I know people have very strong opinions towards plastic surgery and fillers, and some people think they're completely unnecessary, some people are cool with them. Whatever. But this is just a video of me telling you guys my experience. Before I had all of my fillers done, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and they really helped me in terms of deciding whether I should go through with something or not, or how something would look. So when I was little, since I was probably about 15 or 16, I've always wanted lip injections. So my lips were pretty thin. They weren't super thin, but I definitely wasn't comfortable with them. And I think the reason, or the thing that made me want fillers is seeing celebrities, on TV and in the magazines and online, have these full, beautiful lips, and getting lip injections. And that's just something that as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad. And I basically couldn't stop thinking about it. So, I told my mom this, and she's like, you're way too young. You don't need stuff like that. So, I was just kind of in the back of my mind, when I got older and whenever I could save enough money, this is what I want to get. So fast forward till, I believe I was 20. I actually finally saved up enough money I had a steady job to get lip injections. So my hair is growing crazy right here. I went online and I looked up, all of the best doctors in the area and read reviews. So I finally scheduled an appointment with the doctor. I remember driving, I think it was almost an hour away from where I lived, in order to go get these lip injections. So there I am at the doctor's office, and what they do is they put the way they start off giving you before you get fillers is they normally put a numbing cream all over your lips. And it's just like a really thick, kind of a gross cream. And I remember if you get it in your mouth, it tastes really bitter and nasty. So they put that on and they let you sit there for it to take effect. So they usually maybe about 30 to 45 minutes. So that numbs the area prior to you getting the injection. So sitting there numb, whatever. So the doctor comes in and I'm like, oh my God, I'm super nervous, but I'm so excited. Anyway, so he does the injections, and I'll get into what it feels like and stuff in a little bit, but he does the injection and I look in the mirror and I think, oh my gosh, it looks so good. And he's like, okay, well, you should expect swelling for a couple of days, and they should go down a little bit. And I'm thinking I don't want them to go down anymore. I think they look awesome right now. But anyway, I was just so excited. I was driving home and I was just like, finally, I got these lips. So a couple days later, the swelling definitely went down, and it's almost like I didn't even get anything injected. It was just such a subtle notice. And I was like, no way. I pay this money for this. I want them to be bigger at this. I'm not satisfied with this. So I remember saving up more money and probably coming back to that doctor a month later, getting more. So I came back and I got more injected. And this time I was more satisfied with the way that they looked. So they were fuller. It was closer to my final image of what I wanted, basically. So the way that the thing that I got injected into my lips was Juvederm, and it's basically a substance. It's water soluble, and they inject into your lips, and over time it absorbs into your skin. So they say it should last about 6 months is what they told me initially when I first started getting this done. And I think when I got my first 2 injections, and I waited about 5-6 months, and that was about right. So that's when I started to see it kind of fade away. So it was my lips were no longer as full, and basically it was getting absorbed into my body. And at that point, I was like, no way. I have to have these full lips at all times. So I actually found a doctor closer to where I lived, and I booked an appointment with him to get my lips done there. And the other thing, so I was on this whole like Juvederm like lip kick or whatever, and the other thing that started to bother me, and I didn't realize there was a I guess a quick fix for it, as there was an actuality, I guess, if that makes sense. But these lines around the mouth, like by the nose, they're called the nasolabial lines, nasolabial folds. And mine were really, really pronounced. And it wasn't necessarily because I was old. It was just because I feel like I've always had them and they were pronounced. Obviously when you smile, it creases and it creates a crease. So over time, obviously they're going to get deeper and deeper. So when I scheduled an appointment with the doctor that was closer to me to get my lips done more, I was like, is there anything you can do about these lines? And he's like, yeah, we can actually also inject Juvederm into those folds to fill it up and to basically remove the crease. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So during the same session, I got that done as well. Now, let me tell you guys about the pain factor of it. So every time that I've gone in to get injections, they have put the numbing cream on my lips. So it's like a thick cream. They basically put it almost like all over your face. It looks disgusting. But they put it on your lips, and since I got my injections down here, they put it on the folds, and you wait normally about 30 to 45 minutes for it to take effect. So they put it on, and I'm sitting there just like reading a magazine in the exam room or whatever. So after they come back in, he wipes everything off, and the doctor is like, where do you want the like, what area of your lips do you want more full? So I told him that I wanted the top kind of like, not necessarily like that duck lip, but kind of where there's almost like a border around your lips at the top. And I just wanted the bottom like more full in general. So he did that. And what they do is they normally inject, well, depending on how much Juvederm you get. So I normally got 1 syringe in both lips, but since I had already had Juvederm 6 months prior, all of it wasn't gone. So I didn't have to use as much, I guess it would be the 3rd time that I came back. So I think he did 2 injections here, 1 here, and then like 2 here. And then he did the rest. He used the rest for my my folds. Now, even though you have numbing cream, you still feel the needle going in, or at least I did. And it's different each time, but it just feels like, I didn't feel it pierce my skin, but I felt it like go like this and pull back out. And it's just kind of, it's not pain, but you know that it's happening, and you're just kind of, your mind freaks out about that. It's just like, oh, there's a needle like exiting my face, no big deal. So I never really experienced very much pain with the lip injections. In terms of the nasolabial folds, those are way easy. So they numb the area also, and this area is way less sensitive than your lips, so you barely feel that at all. After the doctor does the injection in your lips, he normally massages the substance out just to make it fluid, just to make sure everything's even. And I've noticed the times that I've gone back or the third time and then onward, and I've had my lips done several times, it's the pain varies, and also the bruising varies. So there are times that I've been to get my lips done and I didn't have any bruising at all, and there are times where I actually had, and I'll post a picture if I can find it. It's really bad bruising. It was almost like blue and green, and that took like a week to go away. So it really varies, and normally if it hurts more, you will usually bruise, is what I've found the pattern to be. But so that's the quick little experience. Now, I know a lot of people, and I've gotten this comment a million times before, people saying your lips are too big, they look messed up, they look freaky. So what happened is, so after that third time, I was like hooked. I'm like, I'm not letting my lips go down anymore. You know, I'll be back every 6 months to get them done. And what happens is, the more you get it done, the more Juvederm builds up in your lip already. So it doesn't go away each time. It just kind of dissipates and then stacks more on top of each other. So, gosh, I don't know which time this was, but it was probably my 5th or 6th time to where I went back, and I kind of went back too early, and I just got a full syringe in my lips, like the full thing. I didn't split it up, and I really, really didn't need a full syringe. So what happened was, my lips looked freakishly huge. My top lip was bigger than my bottom lip, and it was, they were swollen for a really long time. So they were probably swollen for 2 to 3 weeks, and it wasn't really painful. It was just like tight, and you could feel that the lip was stretching to allow for that Juvederm to be in the lip. And, you know, as soon as I got it done, I was like, crap, probably shouldn't have gotten that much. I look really freaky. And I didn't really notice how bad it looked until I looked at, when I first started doing YouTube videos, until I started looking at the way that I look when I film. The way that I talked, it completely messed up the way that my mouth appeared when I talked. It just looked bad. It just looked awful. And I was like that for a while. And I feel like it's just now beginning to go away. I haven't gotten my lips filled since, and I have a little, or at least what helps me is I have a little notebook thingy right here, and I just write down like every time I get fillers and like the year and the date, just so I can keep up with it, and I don't know, just helps me out. But it shows the last time I got my lips done was October the 2nd of 2013. So it's been over a year. It's probably a year and 6 months. And you guys can still see that they are really full. And yeah, so the other thing that happens when you get too much Juvederm in your lips is whenever it starts to go away, the skin kind of loses volume and loses its shape. So I'm gonna come closer so you guys can see. So this area here, like you guys can see that it's not like straight across. There's just kind of like a little I don't know what to call it, like a little saggy part right here where it's just like not even. So that is a result of me getting too much Juvederm. I feel like it didn't ruin my life. It's just a learning, experience. I'm used to my lips looking like this now. It's not that huge of a deal. I don't think if my doctor had said something at that time, I don't think I would have listened. If he gave me an option saying like, hey, are you sure you want them this big? They may look a little bit weird. I think I would have just been like, yeah, go ahead. It'll be fine. I don't think I would have listened to the doctor if he would have said like, I'm not using the full syringe on your lips. You know, you can take it or leave it. Or like take it as in get it done here, or you can just like leave. I probably would have taken that little portion and gone with his opinion, but he didn't say that, you know, he didn't stop me from doing it. But and I don't blame him. This is not his fault. This is just my learning experience. So that is what's going on here. I've gotten my nasolabial folds filled several times, and I think that's has made such a difference for me. And I feel like if you get it done earlier when you have them, and if you get them filled earlier, it's kind of a preventative measure for the future, because in the future, all they do is get deeper and deeper. And if you don't get them filled, you know, it's just making a larger and larger wrinkle. My opinion, whatever. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Radiesse and /Voluma. So those are also two fillers. However, they are a thicker filler. So they're used in a bigger parts of your face. Does that make sense? Bigger parts of your face. So people normally use them, or doctors normally inject them in the cheekbone area. So since I had gotten my lips done, I'm like, ooh, let me research some more. Like, what else is there out there for me that I could be utilizing? And I found out this injectable called Radiesse. And what I really wanted is I wanted higher cheekbones. So I scheduled an appointment and I got that done as well. Well, I'll tell you what, the pain for that was it was so bad. It was like, I can't even explain it. So the doctor uses a bigger needle to inject Radiesse because it is a thicker substance. So also, since I got it injected on my cheekbones, so what he did is he put several dots going down my cheekbone, and he's like, is this where you want me to inject the filler? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That looks fine. So there are probably about 5 or 6 dots on each side of my face. So what he does is he takes the needle and he goes against against the bone, your cheekbone inside, and just fills it up and then takes it out and goes back in. So this is up against your bone. This isn't like a meaty, or for me, it's not a meaty part of your skin. So that was so painful. Like, oh gosh, it was so painful. I didn't cry, but I think I had tears running down my eyes just because it was just like right there by the eyes, and I just was not expecting it. So the first time I got my cheekbones done, they used Radiesse. And the first time I got it done, I remember going to, I think it was Marshall's right afterwards. And I kind of looked at myself in one of the mirrors, and it looked so freaky. In terms of, if you guys remember when Lady Gaga did those prosthetics on her face and on her shoulders, well, it looked like I had a prosthetic like coming out the side of my face just because it was like protruding out. So I freaked out. I called the doctor. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks weird. It looks too much. Like, is there anything that they can do? And the doctor or the nurse was like, you know, it's normally swelling. Wait till tomorrow and, you know, call us then if there's still an issue. So I'm like, okay, fine, that works. So I went to Marshall's, went home, and I was so kind of like distraught. Went home and I took a nap. I remember waking up and looking in the mirror, and the swelling had gone down, and it looked amazing. It looked so freaking good, and it made such a big difference on your face. It just picks your face up, and it's literally like one of those things that when you look at somebody, you can't quite place what they've had done, but it just looks like improved and lifted and fuller. So yeah, I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I freaking love this. This is awesome. So that was when I got Radiesse, and that was a couple years ago too. Radiesse is supposed to last about a year, and Juvederm, which I got for the lips and for the folds, last about 6 months. I have also gone back to get my cheekbones refilled, but since then they came out with a substance called Voluma, and it's from the makers of Juvederm, but it's a thicker filler, so it's along the lines of Radiesse. However, Voluma is supposed to last longer and provide a better fill. It seems the same as Radiesse to me. So got it done again. It still hurt like hell, but it's totally worth it. I think the cheek fillers make such a difference. And what else haven't I talked about? So depending on where you live, of course, and the doctor that you go to, Juvederm is about maybe like between $400 and $600, and Radiesse or Voluma, it probably starts about at $1,000 and goes up to like $1,300-$1,400. I'm not exactly sure. So it's definitely not cheap. It's I think it is an investment, obviously, for your face, your appearance. The other thing I recommend is, I have never went to a spa, like a med spa or anything like that, to get any of these procedures done, just because I've seen so many, sorry, I keep looking down. There's like a note here. I keep looking at it, but there's just so many cases that you see on TV and things like that, to where, maybe a med spa technician doesn't necessarily know, where to inject it correctly, or maybe there's like a hygiene issue. So I wouldn't ever chance getting something that you're getting injected into your face from like a med spa or like a Groupon or like a Living Social deal. So I'm just putting that out there as well. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Botox. So I've never actually had Botox because I'm scared of it. And I know I've gotten all this other stuff done, but I'm just so scared because my mom actually had it done, and I know it's different with everybody, but she said she got it done on her forehead, and I think some right here, and it actually made her eyes droop. And I feel like I already have pretty heavy, like a heavy brow, and I definitely don't want it to get any heavier, because I feel like I'm gonna have like, like this is gonna be like this. My eyes are gonna be hidden. Anyway, I'm just so nervous about getting that done. I really want to get it done right here, just because I feel like I look at the computer all day, and I kind of flex my muscles. What is that word? I don't know. I'm just like tense those muscles up, and I know when you get the Botox, it relaxes them, and it makes you not be able to move them. So that would definitely be great. I'm just too paranoid. I'm definitely paranoid. I would really like to get some around my eyes, but again, I'm just scared about the whole eye droopy thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess probably get it done, and you guys probably see me on here with some botched procedure. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. But yeah, so that is just my explanation of my fillers experience. And if you guys have any questions, just please feel free to comment below or message me about anything. Again, this is all of my opinion. I realize what I look like. I know what I've done to my lips. I know what I've done to my face. So I'm not ashamed of that. It's just, how it is. It is what it is. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.